So acute and chronic pharyngitis is a very common problem in our subcontinent. So you must know what is the acute and what is the chronic pharyngitis. So now the inflammations of the pharynx. Inflammations of the pharynx, acute, non-specific and membranous. And in chronic, non-specific and specific. And chronic pharyngo-esophagitis means pharynx to esophagus. So these are the three: acute, specific, membranous, chronic, non-specific, specific, and chronic pharyngo-esophagitis. So this is the inflammations of the pharynx. So now acute non-specific pharyngitis. So non-specific pharyngitis, it is caused by adenovirus and rhinovirus. So it is a common and important prodromal manifestations of bacterial pharyngitis as streptococci, pneumococci, Haemophilus influenza, and exanthematous infections. So now next slide is what is the clinical features? What is the clinical features of non-specific pharyngitis? So first is sore throat, especially on swallowing. Enlargement and tenderness of cervical lymph node. And low pyrexia, and low grade fever. Earache sometimes. Marked injections of mucosa with or without soft palate edema. And complications rare but acute rheumatism and nephritis can occur. So this is the clinical features of non-specific pharyngitis. And if there is a severe or septic form, so the clinical symptoms may be high grade of pyrexia and rigor, relatively slow pulse, edema of the soft palate and uvula, and mucopurulent exudate in the pharynx. So in the case of severe and septic form. So now the next slide is predisposing factors. What are the predisposing factors? It is a more common in cold, damp weather. It more likely attack person with low resistance, local trauma as from operations, swallowing of hot fluids, or corrosive, or from abrasion by foreign body. So these are the predisposing factors. So now our next slide is complications of acute septic pharyngitis. So in the case of acute septic pharyngitis, as you know that the upper respiratory tract mucosa is mucociliary mucosa. So it is from upper airways to the eustachian tube and the nose and the middle ear. The mucosa is the same. So if upper respiratory tract is infected, then it goes through the eustachian tube and eustachian tube to the middle ear. That's why it called the otitis media. Then second complication is edema of the glottis. So glottis is the part of the larynx, and then it goes down. It is called a pleuritis, pericarditis, nephritis, and meningitis. So these are the complications of septic pharyngitis. So now the differential diagnosis of acute non-specific pharyngitis. So it is a prodromal manifestations of exanthematous infection and blood dyskaryosis as leukemia, lymphoma, and agranulocytosis. So these are the differential diagnosis of the septic pharyngitis. Now the treatment of the non-specific pharyngitis. First is a conservative therapy as rest, fluid, and the aspirin, and systemic antibiotic for severe case, and intubations or tracheostomy. If there is any respiratory problem, difficulty in the breathing, then you can either you do the intubations of the patients or you can do the tracheostomy. And if there is any external abscess, then you can drain it. So now the another form is the acute membranous pharyngitis. So is an acute ulcerative lesion usually involve one or both tonsils and spreading to the fauces, soft palate, and the gums. So the clinical types of the membranous pharyngitis, it is a Vincent angina. It is caused by Spirocheta denticola gram-negative fusiform bacilli and is characterized by sore throat, marked pain, fetor oris, cervical adenitis, and gray membranous slough, which soon separate with considerable loss of the tissues. So this is the clinical type of pharyngitis. So differential diagnosis of membranous pharyngitis is diphtheria, acute suppurative pharyngitis of streptococcal infections, mononucleosis, tertiary syphilis, agranulocytosis, and acute lymphatic leukemia. So these are the differential diagnosis of the membranous acute pharyngitis. Now treatment of the membranous pharyngitis is metronidazole, antiseptic mouthwash, and the paint. So these are the treatment. So now the acute diphtheritic pharyngitis. Cervical adenitis, patient look toxic, pulse rate is high, out of proportion of, and pyrexia, vomiting, patches of membrane are present, is firmly attached. So this is the clinical features of acute diphtheritic pharyngitis. And treatment is anti-toxins. So 20,000 to 1 lakh unit systemic penicillin therapy. We can administer the patients. So now the another form of pharyngitis is a fungal infections of the pharynx, Candida thrush. This is a condition in which white patches appear on the fauces, palate, gums, tongue, and buccal mucosa, and it is caused by the Candida albicans, and very little discomfort occur chiefly in debilitated patients. So you look in the throat, there is a white patches in the posterior pharyngeal wall, soft palate, and the tongue, there is a white patches showing in the diagram. So it is a candidiasis. And you know, you look the uvula looks ekdam white. There is a patches of white patch. So you look another diagram, there is a multiple white patches. So in the case of candidiasis, so now the treatment of choice in this case is a nystatin drop. You can give the patient, and amphotericin suspensions, and Zensal Malate 1% solutions, and dilute hydrogen peroxides. So this is the treatment. So now come to the chronic types of pharyngitis. It is also a specific or non-specific. So it is a chronic non-specific pharyngitis. This is a common condition, especially in patients who have had their tonsil removed. When the tonsil are present, they are usually involved in the chronic inflammatory process. So now the etiological factors. So recurrent attack of the acute pharyngitis, nasal obstructions and infection, excess of alcohol and tobacco taken, and prolonged exposure to dry and dusty atmosphere, infected gums and teeth, and pharyngeal neurosis, faulty or excessive use of the voice. So these are the etiological factors of this disease, chronic non-specific pharyngitis. So now the clinical features of chronic non-specific pharyngitis. So on examination, there is a clinical examination. It looks dusky red congestions of mucosa or edema, and hypertrophic. The lateral pharyngeal band may be very prominent in the small nodules of lymphoid tissue scattered. And atrophic, usually associated with atrophic rhinitis. The pharyngeal mucosa is dry and the glazy. And then follicular, usually accompanied by similar infections in the tonsil. A small yellowish cysts are seen commonly in the vallicula. So these are the four types of the clinical features: catarrhal, hypertrophic, atrophic, and follicular. So the irritations in the throat, constant hawking, and tiring of the voice occur readily, and there may be the snoring of the patients. So now the treatment of this disease, the cause must be eradicated. Speech therapy may be useful, reassurance, cautery to the lymphoid patches. And come to the chronic specific pharyngitis. So chronic specific pharyngitis mostly occur in secondary syphilis, which occurs several weeks after the primary lesion. The clinical features of chronic specific pharyngitis are fever, headache, malaise, and generalized lymphadenopathy, and mucocutaneous rashes and sore throat. But may also occur in the tertiary syphilis, which manifests as the guma, which is a painless granulomatous necrotic lesion, on posterior pharyngeal wall. So you look in the diagram, there is the lesion in the tonsils and uvula is elongated, and there is edematous posterior pharyngeal wall in the diagram. So because of the syphilis. You look in the anterior pillar of the tonsil and tonsillar fossa, which is a very, very severe congestion there. And there is the white patches in the uvula and tonsillar fossa is showing there. So the confirmation of diagnosis is you do the serological test. So VDRL test, FTA, TPI, and direct smear and examination by dark field illumination microscope. So the treatment of choice is for a specific chronic pharyngitis is a benzathine penicillin 2.4 mega units single or 2 dose intramuscular or 7.2 mega unit for tertiary syphilis. So now come to the pharyngeal tuberculosis. Pharynx is a not common site for tuberculosis, and primary infection site nearly always occur in children, resulting in asymptomatic primary focus in the pharynx with cervical lymphadenopathy. TB can affect the pharynx in patients with massive sputum, positive and usually cavitating pulmonary TB. Occasionally, pharynx involved as a widespread miliary tuberculosis. So there is a lesion which is showing in the oral cavity. You can look the tubercular lesion near the tonsillar fossa in the right side. So pharyngeal tuberculosis is easily diagnosed because of association with pulmonary tuberculosis. Treatment is the same anti-tubercular drug. So now the another form of pharyngitis is pharyngoesophagitis. So it is also Plummer-Vinson syndrome or Patterson-Brown-Kelly disease is a chronic atrophic type of inflammations of the mucous membrane involving the cricopharyngeal region of the laryngopharynx and the upper part of the esophagus. So now the etiology of the esophagitis is iron deficiencies and pyridoxine deficiencies and tryptophan deficiencies. So pathology, chronic inflammation of the mucosa, subepithelial inflammations, later on atrophy of the mucosa, subepithelial fibrosis. These lead to the wave formations of the pharyngoesophageal junctions and stenosis. 1/3 to 2/3 of the patients have post-cricoid CA. So this is the pathology of this disease. So now the clinical features of the esophagitis. So increasing dysphagia, pallor and anemia, fissures at the angle of the mouth, Callonychia of the nail, loss of the weight, dryness of the tongue due to the superficial glossitis, and barred tongue. So this is the clinical features. So differential diagnosis, all other cause of dysphagia should be excluded. Barium swallow, endoscopy with biopsy, full blood count, serum iron and B12, and functional dysphagia. Functional dysphagia, it is also called globus hystericus. So now the treatment of this problem is iron, vitamin must be given in the large dose. Non-irritating soft food are desirable. Repeated endoscopic dilatations is indicated if the condition is marked and resistant to the medical treatment. So now the prognosis of this disease. The disease can improve rapidly with massive dose of iron and vitamin, but some cases tend to relapse and must therefore be kept under regular observations. Okay, thank you. So now you go and read this topic again. And it is a very common problem, and it is very common in the outdoor, very common in the outdoor problem in our departments. You must know the acute and chronic pharyngitis. Thank you.